Hi guys, today I'm painting the cutest little hummingbird, and I have a couple of flat brushes that I'm using. Here's my bigger one, and then I have a smaller one. On the flat brushes, the bigger one could be anywhere from a ½ inch to an inch, or maybe even bigger if you'd like. Mine looks like it's like a ½ inch. Then I have a smaller flat brush that's a ½ inch. And then I have a round brush for the finer details. I like to wet the background first of the canvas. I wet it, but I don't want it dripping wet. That way when I do the background, because it's such a big area, I like to keep it damp for a little bit, and that way the paint will flow together better. And if you're working on the background and it starts drying before you're finished, it starts getting sticky, that's okay too. You just let it dry and you can work on another part of the painting and then go back and do your touch-up. And the thing I love about acrylic paints is they're really forgivable. And if you work on your painting and you're not happy with the color, you can always let it dry and go back over it. So I'm going to paint the background green, and I'm gonna have darker tones of green on the outside of the painting, and as I go inside I want it to get lighter and lighter. So I'm dipping my paint in green and a little black. Now I'm dipping my brush in pure green, and I'm not going to rinse it out. I just dip my brush in pure green, and that way it kind of blends with the other shade. Now as I get closer to the hummingbird, I'm going to dip my green with a little yellow. And when you're doing your painting, if you go over the lines of the hummingbird, it's okay, because paint will dry and you can paint back over it. I'm a loose painter, so I commonly go over the lines. I dip my brush in some more yellow because at the center here I want it to look like there's light, so I dip my brush in more yellow and white. And on the other side, I'm going to do the same thing. So I work some more on the background, and the way I'm doing the background is kind of doing a circular motion. That it's up to you. You could, if when you do the background, you could do it the way I'm doing it, or you could have your brush up and down like this. There really isn't a right way. It's whatever your heart desires. I'm gonna keep doing the circular motion here. And I'll just keep working the background till I'm happy with it, and as I get into the middle here, I'm gonna lighten it up. That way it looks like there's light. So for this painting, again, on the outside, on the darker tones, I dip my brush in green and a little black. And then I sometimes just use green, and then I added yellow, and then yellow and white in the middle. And you just play around with it till you're happy with it. So I'm going to stop here, and then when we come back, I'll have the background finished because I don't want to bore you to death on this background. So I'll be back.